This is Smithy.tv.
But alright, well, it's the Mind Reels on Smithy.tv. Again, still, I'm Tim.
I am still Sue.
That's right.
I cut my hair. I did it
That's
myself.
right. Wow.
Did you?
Heck of a lead-in.
I'm pretty proud. And I got a new platypus shirt on today.
It is an awesome, awesome shirt.
Alligator, beaver, snake, and duck equal platypus.
That's very good. In fact, we were just talking about it. Me and a buddy of mine. We were talking about it because they were playing. They were playing charades with their kids, their little kids, and we determined that the platypus, in fact, would be the hardest animal because they were doing animal charades. Platypus would be the hardest animal to do in charades. And now you got the shirt on. It says 2 platypus references in one day.
It's got to be a sign. It's got to be a sign.
That's right. That's right.
But in case you missed it, we are joined by Anthony Lemke this week, which is awesome. Finally, we got him in the studio.
Yeah.
We've kind of been stalking him since season 2 of Lost World. But you are.
Yeah, we just kept like not working out.
That's us.
So I said to Tim, I'm like, did we interview him on the phone or something? But I think we just talked about it so much.
Yeah, I know.
Because we were back and forth on Twitter all the time, and then finally it
That's
works
good,
out.
though. You're a busy Canadian actor.
I'm lucky. Yeah, I'm lucky. It's worked out well.
And you told me right before we went to camera that you have done a little bit of our research about the show, so you kind of know how we roll.
I know how you roll.
All right, so I'm
And
assuming
I'm prepared with my list of
Do you?
questions.
All right.
Forget about it. You don't ask me single one.
Well, we like to know ultimate
How would you
favorite.
do charades for a platypus?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I get that shirt out. I mean, seriously. Can we get a shot of that shirt? I mean, really, that's one of the coolest shirts.
I'll like take her
With
out
like half
yeah.
alligator and.
Yeah, he's
Anyway.
got like the alligator pose and stuff. I'm not really sure where the snake comes in, but it sort of works.
That's sort of.
I mean, that's
He's got,
it's
like,
one of those
build
like cobra
feet.
snakes and
Yeah.
That's weird.
Poor guy. He doesn't even know what the fuck he is.
Oh.
You can swear
You've
Yeah,
just
you know.
given him an identity
He's not
crisis. I gotta say, one of the neater things that has happened in the past couple weeks, I went down to Florida.
Ooh.
And I saw.
Yeah, how many of these
No, but see,
animals
no,
are
this is like we're gonna talk
Yeah,
about
I was gonna
your
point.
platypus shirt. No, I did see alligators live for the first time, and
Oh, cool.
and if anybody has seen alligators, on the whole, they just sort of kind of lie around, right? I mean, they're really sort of, you know, now I'm.
You don't know they're not alive
I'm
until
cold.
it's too late.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And I happened to be lucky enough to watch 2 alligators go hunting.
Oh, that would be wicked.
It was really cool because they sort of, you know, there were these like, it was sort of bubbling, jumping fish in these swamps in the Everglades. We thought, well, that's kind of odd, a little obvious considering there's like 9 alligators hanging out right here. They are fish. So,
Come get me.
yeah, the alligator swims over there, and I'm thinking, how the heck is this thing ever going to catch a fish? I mean, I didn't try reaching down and grabbing it, like impossible. These things are huge and they sort of
Yeah.
lumber along like this. And apparently they can swim 25 miles an hour. Do you know that? Crazy. I didn't see
It's
that.
terrifying.
It is
I'm not going
terrifying.
to the water.
So they get there, and the most improbable thing happens. Because he's swimming over like this, with his tail there, and he swims over. And then he just like does this crazy move where he goes, whoa! He does this, totally. That's the way they hunt. He does this thing where he jumps out of the water, whoa, with his mouth wide open, and goes, woof, and tries to catch the fish on the way down into the water.
Oh.
It's the coolest thing that I've ever seen.
That is. Yeah.
But anyway,
That would be kind of
it was
scary.
neat. It was.
I
my
gotta
kids
practice
were
on
out
like
there.
chicken balls or something next time.
That's awesome.
That's right.
It's
Way to
horrifying.
dodge the question, which we didn't even get to ask.
I know.
though.
See, we're not going to talk about Lost Girl. We're not going to talk about. We're going to talk about platypi.
Favorite movie of all time?
Yeah.
Lake Placid.
Bill
Betty
Pullman
White.
was the bomb. in that movie.
That's right.
But yeah, all-time favorite movie. Let's hear it.
You're gonna ask me what my all-time favorite movie is, other than Princess Bride? I mean, really? I don't
Good for
know.
you.
Yeah, is it my generation that ever? Does everybody answer that question?
No.
Or am I just a geek? No, honestly,
It's
it's
a great
probably
answer.
it's probably Princess Bride. I know it's going way back, but
1987.
yeah, it's just something.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's sort of like those like greatest something questions. They often tend to harken back to periods
Yeah.
in your life where things marked you more seriously.
Oh, totally.
You know, and that would be your youth.
Yeah.
Now it's just
Even now, it's like I
Parent.
see something and think I love it, but I'm like, I still gotta give it like the test of time.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
gotta let a
Totally.
few months
Ask
at
me
least
20
pass.
years.
Yeah.
Then we'll
Yeah.
see if it was like at least this year, and then we'll see if it.
Like the
Holds
Avengers.
up.
I've only watched it twice since this summer. I
It's
loved
twice
it.
since last weekend.
No.
Only twice.
I've only seen it twice since this
Yeah.
morning.
Oh no, I don't do that with movies anymore. I
Yeah.
should. I don't have time anymore.
I know.
We're crazy now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
You know,
but you're smart. Let's get it out there. You are a smart guy. You've got like 2
You're
law
talking to my mom
degrees.
again.
She called her.
She said you were.
promoting me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a text. Thanks,
Thanks,
Mom,
Mom.
for the props.
Yeah, but you've got like 2 law degrees
Yes, I do.
and
Yeah.
a degree in theater.
Yeah, that's right.
So what you're saying is you could act my way out of jail. You could get.
I guess I kind of could. I can't act my way out of a paper bag, but I can act here. Yeah, no, it's what brought me to Montreal. Initially, it was something I always wanted to do. I do a law degree, and I had started. I had started that whole process before my career. I've been in the industry for about, I don't know, 12, 15 years now, something like that. You can check it out on IMDb. And sort of before
That's as long as I've been in Toronto.
before my career started to go the first time around, I had sort of taken the steps to apply to law school and whatever, and then right then it started to go, like
Right.
just like that. But I always wanted to go. I just think it's fascinating education. You learn a lot about sort of the foundations of our country, specifically at McGill Law School, where you do civil law and you do common law, and it really is Montreal. You know, it isn't what it used to be in terms of its influence in the country, but historically speaking, I mean that's where our country, really a lot of what our country is today
Came from right there.
came through the
Came right down to St. Lawrence and.
yeah, exactly. Came through those influences there. So for me, it was fascinating. And being an Ottawa boy, you're always looking towards Toronto and Montreal.
Yeah.
I lived in Toronto for a long time. And, it was a great opportunity to go to Montreal. And my wife said yes, thank you. And we haven't returned.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that and that means you're like completely bilingual. You can just roll out the French anytime you want. I bet.
I can roll out the French anytime I want. Although I do sound like an English guy. An English guy from Montreal. I've gotten better since I've been there. But I'm never gonna pass for someone who's.
I can't do it.
First language.
You sounded pretty European in Storm Within.
Oh man,
there it
let's
is.
just get it out of the way though.
You were a douche.
Yeah, you were a complete douche. You were a tool.
Do I have to defend my character? Because I gotta say, there were far more douchey characters than
Oh,
that.
there were. But
I was pretty douchey, and thank you.
Because I was talking with Stu, I'm like, yeah, because as Ryan, I mean, he knew what he was, and he kind of reveled in that, he revels in what
And
he
he was
is.
fun.
Yeah, and he was fun. And I'm watching you in The Storm Within, I'm going, you were such a dick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Although one of my personal favorite moments of the movie, and it's, I don't know, maybe it speaks to my inner douche, but it was the little wink to her when you come back in with the injured guy.
Oh my god.
You're
You already been there
That's your
once.
next teacher. Yeah.
Releasing my inner douche.
Yeah, that was that was a really fun movie to shoot, and it's partially because what you're faced with as an actor, the challenge there is that your role is to be the asshole that everyone hates. Like that's the job, right? So how you go in there and play that without being the asshole that everyone hates, and in a way, it's always
Because the asshole can't hate himself.
No,
He's
no, that's it.
bomb.
He's doing all right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then there was also my buddy. In fact, our names on the credits are Le Vulgaire and Le Net. The vulgar one and the ugly one, right? Those were the two. So I got cast as the vulgar one, and we had to differentiate between the two of us. We couldn't just be these sort of faceless, horrible, bad Irish soldier redcoats. And so, a lot of that starts with the research of the time period and understanding. There was clearly a different attitude towards women in the 18th century, and when wenching was literally like a sport. You go online, you can find out there's a history of wenching. And the attitude towards women was very different, and so that character. I mean, yes, he's a total asshole, specifically for the 21st century. But one thing, what he never does is he never crosses the line of taking what he wants without her approval. And that's an interesting distinction because, yes, there is a scene in which there is taking happening, but it only happens after she is originally...
Yeah, that's true.
That's right, see? And the notion is he wants someone, a willing participation in this raucous fun, I'm going to take you, but only if you're there.
If you're okay with
off we go. And he's sort of that guy, and yes, he's super sexist, and he's all the rest of these things, and he's, a jerk stealing money, and he's all those things. He's not a lovable character, but I think the challenge in making him real was to find the reality for him.
Yeah.
To frame that so that, as an actor, he's this fun-loving guy, and who has these sides of, I take what I want, and it's the French... What the Canadiens are called back then, the Canadians, the kind of nothing. He comes from the mother country and whatever. So it was a fun role. It was challenging in that regard.
Yeah, I was because all through it, I'm just like, oh man, if you're like that in person, I never want to meet you.
And now I switch to
yeah. Because I remember first seeing when you first showed up on launch girl and you had your whole little your little lab. Yeah. My first reaction, literally, which is coming from me, is a high compliment. It's like you're like the Tony Stark of the Fey world.
Yeah, man.
I'm like
Tony Stark of the Fey world. Bring it on.
Yeah.
I had a suit that.
And Tony wishes he had that belt. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah, that's right. The old belt that didn't function. Yeah, that's true, man.
He's tough with the elevator shaft.
I'm pretty sure that was probably intentional. I mean, with the name of Tony Stark came up in discussions about the character.
Aha! See, it wasn't just me then.
I mean, the references are there, right? In the sense that he is the Tony, like he's the guy who's big tech gadgets and sort of a free spirit and.
I knew it.
Yeah,
see, Emily, I know what you're doing.
Now I don't know if it was the writers who were failing Tony Stark, all right? But for sure, when that script came to me, that's it's the easy pop culture reference for that.
Yeah.
And that looked like so much fun to play.
It was a blast.
It was just
It was. I mean, it's the type of character that provides you a lot of freedom. A lot of freedom to just goof around and do whatever you want.
And a lot of sex with a succubus.
She's a succubus, so yes, a lot of characters on that show have a lot of sex with her.
That's true.
But no, that's true. That was that was what it was. We won't go into that. No, the real fun part about that was in terms of character was that freedom. And then giving you the rope to play with and fortunately, they can edit around this stuff where you hang yourself in that rope. They only put in the good stuff. Anyway, it was fun.
Make me look cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Just use the best stuff.
Do we have any more takes? Because we can't seem to make this guy. Just cut to Anna here. She's in a really hot dress. Done. That's right.
Reaction shot.
Yeah.
That's right. How come his mouth's never moving when he's done? It's all no. It was fun. It was a great time, and the team was really great and welcoming and cool role to play.
Well, which is cool because we actually brought you up last week when we had Emily in the studio.
Yeah.
She came back again.
It
was she was talking about season 4 and how she's got to get started on that, and I was like, if you want to bring Ryan back, I'm like, obviously not as like a relationship for Bo, but like a foil for them, because I mean he's useful. He's a very useful character.
Right. I could blow up a city block with something the size of, what was that? I mean, it was like a little Mento or something smaller than that, but anyway, very useful. Very useful.
I just love to see him come back because he's a great character.
Well, I mean, they've done so much with Vex, so it'd be nice to see some more Dark Fae come back.
Yeah.
Vex Ryan Spinoza.
No. Representing Dark Fae. No, it was fantastic. It was really cool. So.
But you've done like tons of Canadian television.
Tons,
I mean,
yeah.
you've done.
I called you Canadian TV
She
for
did.
earlier.
Yeah. Okay, this interview's over.
And we're done.
Not everyone at home.
But yeah, you've done Warehouse 13. You've done like the requisite Flashpoint.
Yeah.
You've
Listener.
The Listener. You were on the first season of The Listener for a while.
Lucky. It's been and all this. The most improbable part of all of this is that living in Montreal. It's I moved to Montreal as an Anglophone actor, and I didn't move there with thoughts of staying there. And then when my kids were born, and it's just such a wonderful place to live, and there's more to life than career, and it's it has its career challenges, of course, but it's I'm just gonna because it's been a really wonderful ride.
It's been
shooting in French as well has been a real blessing, and beyond
I don't know
that,
if I can do that. Do you ever stumble where you know your lines in French and they come out in English, or vice versa? 'Cause I could see that happening to me all the time.
Not that exact stumble, but for sure, shooting in French has its challenges. Actually, I to be honest, I think I stumble less in French than in English, because I don't allow myself the freedom of not being like, forget about 100% prepared, like 300% prepared, because you can't. Like I remember when I did a series called Reels-EPS25-Anthony, and it was very, very well received down there, and I ended up coming in kind of in a Ryan role, to be honest. And
Nice.
the lead, and I was but it was for a whole year and a half, and wonderful show, amazing actors, and that was my first big sort of French thing, foray to the French world. And a lot of what I do as an actor is, I guess one of my strengths, and maybe you sort of see that come out a bit in Ryan, is that there's a playfulness that I can bring to a lot of characters, and a lot of that tends to come through improv, or the intention is the same, but the line might change, or you throw in something. And it's the wonder of television, when they can just edit it out after, right? Which they do. But then every once in a while they keep a few of the gems. Can't do that in French. I'm not that good.
Not
so
there
I
yet.
hired a coach. We went through all the stuff,
Right.
and I said, all right, so if I want to improv on this line, give me 2 alternatives. If I want to improv on that, give me 2 alternatives.
That's cool.
So I literally went through the entire thing, and whenever I thought, okay, that's a part where I could have a little fun, and I could get off the text and goof around a bit, then she gave me alternatives.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, it was really great. And the neat thing about it is that you don't actually have to be able to speak as well as they're writing you, because someone's writing you. You just memorize the words. That's it.
I always sound this good.
Like, wow, I sound like you're like a francophone. I have a little bit of an accent.
No, I don't do interviews.
Oh yeah.
Don't actually talk to me.
And but yeah, we're talking about before all this happened. We were talking about like the folks in Quebec, there's company, they watch their own shows, and so you're known and all the rest of that stuff. And it would happen frequently when that show was on that people would stop you in the cafes and do whatever and say, hey, talk to you, whatever. And the challenge in that is that
they expect you to be.
They expect me to be far more francophone than I was. Like, I speak French well, I get along well, but in the show, there aren't any grammatical errors because I'm not the one writing it, right? So they write it as this perfect francophone who speaks, French with an accent, that's the way it came across. And so I always felt a little bit weird, where they come in and anyway, so that was.
Please just say hi and move on.
Okay, great, thank you. And it's always those formalities, those formal sayings, the entry into a discussion or the exit from a discussion that are hardest in another language. Anyway, that was.
When I was in high school, I went to Quebec for 3 months on exchange.
Yeah.
And
Quebec City or Quebec?
we were in Rimouski.
Rimouski too. Anyway,
it was February. It was really cold. It was like the rivers to the north, I think it was.
Very cool.
So I got to a point where I started dreaming in French, but everybody spoke my broken French. So
brilliant.
Everybody in the dream, whether they were French or English, all spoke like stuttered, broken franglais, as we call it from time to time.
Loving it, that's great.
I wake up the first couple of times, I was like, what was that? Like now my brain is just immersed, which I guess is the point.
Do you have flashback dreams to that?
Not so long. It was a long time ago.
So this is where we continue the interview in French. Is that what happens now?
Yes, we're gonna switch out. We're gonna bring in our body doubles. Next to yeah. I was.
Have you got a platypus shirt?
I was lucky enough that we were driving through Montreal, and my mom was driving because we were heading out east, and somehow we got lost.
In Montreal.
In Montreal. So we pulled over, and apparently I knew enough.
Tracks now.
I knew enough French though to get the directions, which I was very happy about, and then swear about the fact that we were so far off course. I was very proud of myself.
That's awesome.
Swearing was the first thing.
Swearing was the first thing.
You can swear in another language then? That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
right?
I'm good.
The worst was when I was with the host family, and there was 3 younger sisters, and then my twin, my partner, and then her parents. And she has an older brother too, but he was away on an exchange of his own, I guess. And I was fighting with one of the younger sisters. She was making me mad. She was pissing me off so much. And I tried to yell at her, and she laughed at my accent, which just made me even madder.
That did not have the desired effect. Oh, that's awesome.
I was so lost. I was just like, oh man. I can't even get that right.
You kind of hit on one of the things that I find really, really cool about living in Montreal, where, you live in Toronto, and there's the majority culture, and then there's the rest, and there's every one of the rest, whatever, all agriculture in the world is represented here, which is really cool, and the minority cultures know what it's like to be a minority, knows what that feels like viscerally to have that experience you just had, but the majority never does. I never feel that here. This is my place. This is my country. I belong, quote unquote, here in Toronto. Yeah. In Montreal, everybody, whether you're francophone, anglophone, or you're part of the immigrant culture that's whether assimilating or whatever you're choosing to do. Right. Everyone knows what it feels like to have that awkward moment where you're faced with someone who doesn't speak your language, and which language do I speak, and the francophones, of course, feel this notion of being a minority within Canada, within North America, a very small minority, and then of course the anglophones, we tie into the English culture in the rest of North America, but that's not where we live. Like, we live our lives in a place that's French, and it's one of the reasons why I'm still there. I love that. But it's neat, and I think it actually really, it's good for the soul in a lot of ways. For you to have that experience of, I see something and I can't, I just made such an idiot of myself, no, totally, and I think it's good.
It was especially frustrating because they all spoke great English. Their English was way better than my French, but the idea was for me to learn French, so we tried to speak it as much as possible.
Yeah, they're doing best.
Fuck! You understand that, right?
We know a couple of
It's like,
That one was for you guys. I know you're watching, by the way, so putain! We had a couple friends over from France last year.
Oh, good.
Who were
big Lost Girl fans, so they're very happy that we're talking to you tonight. So
oh, neat.
They'll be happy to be included.
Yeah, but it was awesome. But I want to get back to Storm Within.
Okay, Storm Within.
Oh man, now
let's do it.
It could have been your choice. Maybe it was makeup. Maybe it was costume. Maybe it was just character design. Your scar, was that your idea or somebody else's idea?
I had a bike accident and I heal fast.
Did you come up with a story?
That was Martin, the director. He, I know Martin quite well. He's one of the. It was his first. The Storm Within.
That's right.
First feature,
that's right.
Which he co-wrote and directed, and I knew about this story for quite some time before it was funded, just because I kept working with him. He is a third AD and one of the best.
Yeah, I looked at his IMDb page. He's done a lot of amazing stuff.
He's amazing.
He's like the go-to guy in Montreal.
Yes, he is. Yeah, every big Hollywood feature comes in, and the reason is that he's so fantastic. I mean, third ADs, for those of you who don't work in the industry, one of the main jobs of a third AD is to direct all the extras, right? So, and he's fantastic at that. He's entirely unflappable and respectful and intelligent, and that shows. And that's why he is the go-to guy for all those big Hollywood features. So I worked with him a lot, and I heard a lot about that. And he said, "I got a role for you in this," and then I got the script.
Which one do you want me to be?
Let's make you the vulgar one.
Am I the charming captain?
Yeah. Damn it. I'm the vulgar one, really? Anyway, so he said, listen, I think you can really do it, and would love if you did. However, we're going to have to sort of break because I played a lot of the times, I played, guys a little bit like Ryan that have a little bit of an edge but may not be total assholes. And this guy, he really is. And you're really supposed to hate him. I mean, that's the whole point of the movie, that everybody hate him. Are we allowed to do spoilers in this? I guess I better not. I'm going to shut up. I won't do any spoilers.
I know, it's hard to... Well, we'll talk about it after what's happening with it after Canadian Film Fest.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, we had the French version, because it was written as a French script, and shot for the Quebec market, and we had a great release. We had 30 screens throughout all of Quebec, which is a great release. The critiques were on the whole very good for it, and distributors really loved it, and so that's happened, and that's over, and that's done with, and now it's the English market and the international market that they're going to try to conquer. And it, we didn't really know how it would play. We'd seen how it played in the the Quebec audience, and we went last night to see. I
was going to ask about that. Yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah,
I would say whether the audience liked it more or not, you can never tell. But they reacted more vocally at the moments in which I would have thought one would react, and. It was great, and they were laughing at the right moments, because it isn't. There are moments where you are supposed to laugh. And the audience got it, which was neat. So I think it's got some legs on this side, and I think it's a neat.
And if it was like intense and overpowering for the entire time, people wouldn't be able to. You have to walk the line.
Yeah, and I think part of why the English audience reacts a little bit more to that is that for the French audience, all the stuff we do, that I do, and all the soldiers and whatever, all that's subtitled.
That's right. It's the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're not. You always lose something in the subtitling.
Yeah.
Right? They dumb it down a little bit, and you're not getting the sort of intricacies of the relationships as much, and people got that. They were laughing at the stuff that we were doing and little quips that we were saying. It's not a comedy. But the point is, yes, you're supposed to laugh at some point in time, because that opens you up to be willing to go to the next step with this character. So that was really heartening to see, actually. And I was there with the director and the producers and the distributor, and they were all like, "Wow, this is an English film," it was neat. So.
Good thing we put both titles on it.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
I guess they always knew, because it is literally maybe even more, actually, just by the language you hear. So
Because well, it's funny talking about that whole lighthearted stuff, because one of my favorite scenes is the whole where everybody's sitting around the table and they just started having the New Year's drinks, and then everybody starts playing music. I'm going, "This is great," and then just at the back of my brain, you go, "This isn't gonna last. Something bad's gonna happen."
So, yeah, that's right.
Because I was really enjoying it. I'm like, "Yeah, they're having so much fun."
Storm's blowing in.
It's gonna go to hell in a handbasket any second.
All I can say about that film, again, I'm not gonna get into the spoilers. I love the film. I think it's fantastic. I read the script and I want to do this. Martin's from Quebec, and he has a sort of similar past to me, and I think that gives you a similar worldview in some regards. He's neither English nor French, and so doesn't have the associated baggage with the English and the French. His parents are German. His first language was German, and spoke with his parents, and then was raised in a French school and speaks English, and he's trilingual. It's great, but I am not trilingual, although I do have a German father. And he, so he wrote this script, and I said, yeah, absolutely, I totally want to do the script. But the interesting thing about that script is that it's a hard script for a French audience, I think, to see. You've seen it, and you understand sort of who the hero is and her actions, and why that might be a bit of a challenging script.
The ending kind of kicked me in the nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, I can't believe they went there.
It really went
kicked
there.
Me in the nuts, and I don't even have them.
That's right. He went there.
Because she's not perfect. She's far from it. She's not. Yeah, I can see how good it's for
crazy. But anyway, what I was going to say was, I don't, It will be when you get to see it. If you do, it will be marketed with the poster that it's marketed with. It makes it look like it's a horror film.
It sure does.
It is. Yeah.
It's not. It's not at all.
No. It's not.
It's the farthest thing from a horror film. Even though things go.
There are horrifying things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not that film.
No.
And I think that's the challenge of this film, reaching the right audience, because it does cross genres a bit.
Oh, easily.
From historical period piece through through psychological thriller, and there are even elements of horror. And but it's just not a horror film. No. It's not scary, and it's not.
Nothing goes upstairs.
No. Yeah.
Oh boy.
We went there.
Yeah. I had such respect for him until he did that. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
I know.
And the entire way through the movie, I'm actually looking at and his name's actually eluded me at the moment. That's it. Yeah. And I'm watching him going, why do I know him? And I'm sitting there.
He's Jesus.
He's everywhere. He wasn't only, but he was in 24. He was like, I IMDb'd him while we were watching him going, that's
Jesus in Montreal.
Yes, great.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
I haven't seen
Different Jesus.
Different.
Yeah.
And allegorically similar.
Yes.
Jesus. But no, yeah. So he was
great cast.
Yeah, he was wonderful to work with, and Isabelle Guerrard, who plays the woman who carries the film on her shoulders, without really speaking.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too, because I assume the script was written in English and French as well, like the way it was.
It was all the stage directions were in French.
Awesome.
It was a French shoot, so it was a UDA different union. And but so it was for the French market.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it was funded as well. So.
And ironically, like, she actually seemed to have fewer lines in a way, especially once the guys are all there, but they're all talking all the time and
she's reacting.
If
that makes a lead, then there are people who have more lines, but she really carries that film, and there are entire 3-minute scenes where she doesn't say a word, and you're just like on her, watching her, and you're mesmerized. It's
tight close-ups. The whole thing was claustrophobic too, just all being shot in the one little house, and so many tight close-ups on her. It's like, man, I can't breathe watching this thing.
Yeah, it's interesting you should say that, because the little interesting anecdote was that she actually played it that way. She played it like she couldn't breathe. She was so tight and couldn't breathe. And then when they edited it together, they called her in and they were like, "We need breaths." She's like, "No, you can't do that, because that was my character thing that she's so tight, she can't permit herself, and so she had to go through the movie and add breaths back in.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, listen, you can't tell at all. I can't tell. Even having known.
And it still works.
Totally. But
we were talking about how cute the kids were too.
Yeah.
They were really amazing.
Is Charlotte St. Cyr?
Yeah, St. Cyr.
Adorable.
That's her daughter.
Is it really?
That's perfect.
She's got those big eyes. Because I'm not the world's biggest fan. I like some kids. I don't like a lot of kids at once, but a couple kids one at a time. Okay. And she was like, "Oh my God, she's adorable."
Yeah, she did a great job.
And
the kids were great. I mean, she had never done anything before, and neither had the 14-year-old British soldier who was around.
Yeah, that's right.
He'd never been on camera.
Wow.
Never.
He was perfect for that role then, because he had like the, I don't know, not shyness, but the sort of more reserved, like, I'm with like the big soldier men and actors. I've never been on camera.
It's who he was. I mean, what you saw there was him, and he was able to remain him and not like put on a performance and not do anything but be who he was, and that's exactly why he was cast, because he played the violin, and because he could not. He didn't change his behavior on the camera versus off the camera. That's exactly
just who he was. Yeah.
And that's big.
Yeah.
That's huge to be able to maintain that natural this on the camera. He was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to shoot it.
It's a great flick. I really hope it gets like picked up and pushed, at least in the Canadian market, and then over. I don't know how well it'll do in England.
I would suggest that it would probably do okay in the sense that the English audience is reacting half decently to it. Last night. It's the same concern you're voicing. We don't do it, but it's the same concern you're voicing. And what's interesting about that is that, yeah, okay, they're bastards, but they're not uniformly bastards.
No, that's true.
No.
Yeah.
And there's some redeeming.
And every one of them. Yeah.
Well, the boy, and then the blessé, the guy who's hurt, he did both redeeming characters in some regard, and then the captain is a nuanced character.
Yeah.
But in the end, I'm going to spoil this whole thing.
No.
Yeah, and then on page 33.
When I say this.
Yeah, that's right. But there is this moment where I say something. I just want to tell you, but I can't.
Oh, so good. But you've actually got I think it's 3 more projects that you've done since starting.
Yeah, no, I mean that was something that I shot last year, and then last year was a great year. We have Exploding Sun coming up, which is a really neat one, with David James Elliott, the guy from Jag. You and I are partners in that one, and that was sort of a fun sci-fi kind of the world's gonna explode kind of flick.
Who
doesn't love an exploding world?
Yeah, especially when you get to go fly into the sun and save the world and stuff.
Yes.
But what was neat about that film was that it shot in Montreal. Anytime something shoots in Montreal, you get to hang out near my family.
And you get to go home at the end of the day.
Yeah,
kind
that's
of thing.
nice.
Yeah.
But the central sort of premise in that one is, it doesn't just follow, the heroes trying to save the world. It sort of has these 4 or 5 different storylines. And really only one of them is directly related to the actual, plot. The other ones are, hey, guess what? The world's ending in 48 hours. What are you going to do? Really, they're those plots, right?
That's cool.
And I think that's pretty neat.
It's Last Night meets Armageddon.
Yes.
I'm trying to think
it's
of
a bit like that's perfect. You should talk to the marketer. Last Night might not be so well known outside of, but anyway, it's a great. Last Night's wonderful.
I'll always just remember the guy that had all his sexual wishes to fulfill written on the walls before the world ends.
Yep. I'm coming up with the list in my head.
Yeah, that's right.
And then he'd go do something across one eye.
Your bucket list.
Yeah. Right. Can I fit the Star Wars trilogy in one more time?
Yeah. Sexual wish list? That's it.
Oh, no.
All right, Chewbacca.
You're bringing the Princess Leia.
Is it like a slave Leia?
There's definitely a slave Leia there for sure. Possibly a Supergirl, maybe a Wonder Woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Daisy
Duke.
Daisy, nice.
Daisy
All right. Yeah, I could go with that. Right. Sorry, I'm distracted.
Yeah. It's easy to be distracted by Daisy Duke. So yeah, Exploding Sun, and then we have. There's a really cool project. Super proud to be a part of, called Still Life, and it's for the CBC. It is based on. It is the first novel of the Louise Penny.
Yes, I read that.
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, and that's cool for me because I rarely work on projects that are the voice of English Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
She is. I mean, she's a hugely successful crime writer, and she's on her 9th novel now, and it debuted #2 at the New York Times bestseller. She's fantastically successful. What's really cool about Still Life? I mean, the name kind of gives it away, in a way, it really kind of does. Not the plot, but gives away a bit of what's cool about it. Is that if you think of the way crime television has gone, it's sort of sexy and flashy and fast and gory and sensational.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing where you read the novel, after 150 pages, you haven't put it down at all, but it suddenly dawns on you that nothing has happened.
Oh, I love those guys.
Nothing, and nothing really does ever kind of happen. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all, but what I mean is, it's such a subtle and simple character-driven piece that, yes, there's a murder mystery at the heart of it, but what it actually is, the novel I'm talking about, and that's the challenge in translating that to a screen. The novel is actually this simple and subtle examination of what a death in a very small community does to a community.
Wow.
And this outside set of policemen come into this community and try to solve the crime. And again...
and they understand nothing about the people or the...
That's it.
Yeah.
And the main character, he feels almost sort of 19th century, and that's intentional. He's very reserved and polite and really, I mean, subtle and again, he's kind of like this really neat hero because he doesn't really solve the crimes. Like, in the end, the crime is solved because of the actions he took.
Right.
But he's not the guy who goes and gets all the answers. He's not like that American-style hero who goes in and, you know, here I go, I'm Bruce Willis with the guns, and, you know, he's so not that at all. He's like, he lets other people sort of, the villagers, sort of talk amongst themselves and incites them, in a way, almost, to help him come up with. And that's his modus operandi. And then I play his partner.
Cool.
Who's not that way at all. Who's kind of like the opposite. Not all that far from a guy like Ryan or whatever, who's a little more impulsive, who's sort of the action.
Jack Bauer.
Yeah, I guess you could say.
Sure.
So anyway, it's really neat. It's a fantastic series of books, and I'm real proud to be a part of that.
Because like you said, it's a series, so you could be coming back a couple times.
Yeah, we'll see. The first one's got to be received well, and there's timing issues around when that's released. It's a fall shoot. The first 4 books are shot in different seasons in the Eastern Townships. So the whole thing takes place in the Eastern Townships of Quebec, which is kind of like southern version of Muskokas. So Muskokas is to the north. For those of you who aren't from Toronto, it's like cottage country, about an hour north. Well, this is the same, about an hour south of Montreal.
Sweet.
Sort of pastoral and used to be a very strong English community, is much less so now, like a lot in Quebec. But she is there and has based her entire 9 international best-selling crime novel series in the Eastern Townships. Wow! In among this bizarre
She's the Stephen King of Maine.
That's it.
See, I'm so good at this today.
You are, man. It's the platypus giving you all the power, man. That's what it is.
Great. She's gonna wear that shirt.
4 minds in one. That's right.
Like Sue, take it off and wash it, for God's sake.
But I would like to know what possessed you to buy, because it is an awesome shirt. It's a thoroughly awesome shirt. First,
it was at the Toronto Comic Con a couple of weeks ago.
Because
we always look at t-shirts.
T-shirts are kind of the thing now, because we always like to wear.
Is that where Doctor's 11 came from?
No, this one came from Australia. But yeah, we always try to find.
Is there a story in Doctor's 11? I mean, I take off on Ocean's 11 or something? Or?
Well, yeah, it's an homage, obviously, to Ocean's 11. But if you follow the BBC Doctor Who series, there are now 11 regenerations of the Doctor. So that's all.
So not
11 Doctors.
I didn't.
See, and you said you were a geek.
So I guess it's the 3 most recent ones that are.
It's 9, 10, 11, right there.
There's the original?
Shadow of the
That looks like number 4. Number 2.
No, sorry. Which would have been the one that we saw back in the 70s? Which would that
number 4. Tom Baker with the big hair.
Okay, because that's what I'm like. That's the original, but there were 3 before.
Oh yeah.
So not a geek. I'm losing my crowd. I'm gonna shut up. Platypus. Okay.
But yeah, I think
because
we like to wear. Well, I dig geeky shirts. Like I try and wear like a geeky shirt every episode just because they're fun and it's kind of my thing now. But
we're running out of shirts for the show.
So the challenge is anybody who's actually watched all the 11. Someone make a montage. Who's gonna make the montage of the awesome T-shirts? Anyone?
I think we need a T-shirt sponsor.
We do. We need a T-shirt sponsor.
You do.
Just send us T-shirts.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love. But that's because we
Spin
used to
TV,
look
you
at.
gotta talk to those guys about it.
I know. We were talking about that the other day.
Ryan,
let's go.
T-shirts.
But yeah, T-shirts are awesome. I just because toys get too expensive, like to buy the action figures and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
you can't wear them on your body.
Right.
I know, right?
But yeah,
which is basically advertising.
Yeah. But geeky shirts are awesome.
Yeah.
We do. I'm most proud. I've got a Tony Stark T-shirt at home with a light-up arc reactor.
Oh, right in the middle of it. Actually, that's great.
Yeah.
But do you ever try jumping on buildings in it?
Not yet. Not yet. It's coming.
Yeah. After this interview. It's over finally. Give me my Tony Stark shirt.
What was that one that we saw that loved? Oh, it was the. It was E.T., Elliot and E.T. on a bike, but it was Cookie Monster and Elmo. Oh man, it was so cute.
We just couldn't find another one to go with it because you get 2 for like $40 or whatever it was, and otherwise they're like $30 each.
And that's how we got it. You got the Kessel Run shirt, and I got this one.
Yeah, we're geeks. It's
so what do you guys do? What is your day? Your day gig? No, because I'm gonna ask you guys
this
because
is the part where
Turn the camera. Turn
We
the
can
camera
ask
around.
questions now.
All right, no, because I know that a lot of these things that happen at night in terms of scheduling and whatever else, and you're not entirely outside of the industry. Vistech or something? Is that?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you did do your research.
See,
We were at
they
the-
teach you something in law school.
Somebody get this guy a retainer. I want him on our side.
So what? You both work at Vistech.
I do.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
she found me the job there happily because I was bailing ship on Blockbuster before it went down.
Well, Blockbuster was
Yeah.
drowning.
There's no Blockbusters at all anymore.
Ooh.
Can you rent a DVD somewhere? No?
Yeah. There's Queen Street Video.
Okay.
I love. It's a great store.
Yeah, like indie stores. There's
Endorsement
a
there,
cool
boys.
one by my.
Black Dog.
up in my
Black Dog Video is really good.
But there are no more chains here in Toronto.
No more chains.
Okay. Because there are still in
Really?
Montreal. And we go there. I'm old school, in fact. I rent
Okay.
DVDs.
Didn't we see a jumbo one time on the bus?
There's still a jumbo.
Like up by the
exists.
zoo or something?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vistech, and you've been there for a while.
Oh, a long time, yeah.
No, it's a very cool place. It's a
In
very
August
cool
it'll
place.
be 13 years. I'll be
Okay.
there.
I haven't
Probably
reached
6
it yet.
different positions, I think.
Which department do you work? You were in the same department?
No.
So,
well,
not really.
I'm in
Like
receiving.
warehouse, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
receiving, and I do like
Yeah.
logistics.
Whereas I like it because I literally can go in and you just receive. So I don't actually have to worry about engaging my brain for a lot of it. I can work on other things
Yeah,
upstairs.
sure, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
working on the blog, I'm like, okay, I have to remember to write this or edit this and blah, 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 blah. So,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, at 6 o'clock, I can walk out and say, okay, we're done. Don't take your homework
Whereas I have
with
to
you ever.
be a detective all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah.
sucks sometimes.
You need a theme song or
It's a little
something.
frustrating. I do.
Yeah, like Rockford Files or something.
If
Simon
you have to be a
Simon,
detective,
I
what does
agree.
that mean? You have to be a detective.
I have to find stuff that people can't find, or find out what happened to the stuff that people can't find.
Bonnie's
or
just
stuff.
giggling over there.
What are you watching on YouTube?
Yeah, it is the cat. It's the platypus. She's
is.
she's using the platypus to see. I'm actually curious.
These
think
animals
you
are
should
ugly. Yeah.
What is
There's
going
a
to happen?
platypus song too that I had stuck in my head.
That's sad.
Yeah. Okay. I am doing this.
He's searching for platypus as we speak.
I am. Yeah. Absolutely. Platypus YouTube. And let's see what happens when we do platypus YouTube. All right.
And then you can look up Conjoined Twins of Terror for some laughs.
That's
my alter
serious
ego.
stuff, Yeah.
There's one called Probing Platypus.
Whoa!
Pretty sure we don't want to do
No,
that one on
see
TV.
that.
No probing of the Splatify.
No, but there's a guy. There's a song called the Platypus song.
Yeah,
See, do you know
I
that
think
one?
That's probably the one. It's stuck in my head.
Although I do stutter at times, that was stuttering from.
That was acting. That's right.
There's 3 P's in the Platypus song, and it's by a guy by the name of Steve Axtell, and I can't probably show it on here, or else you guys will get sued or something by Steve Axtell's lawyers.
But we've got a lawyer right here.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know, but check this out, guys.
That's the one!
Now you've seen this. Did you Google this when you got your shirt?
No! Breakfast television!
No, we have to hold this up to the camera. Look at
Oh
that
yeah, put
guy.
it up to the microphone. Yeah.
Oh, can you hear this though? Here we go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Axtell. Credit to you. Don't worry, none of us are getting paid, Steve. Can you hear this?
Oh my god!
Stuck in my head.
I don't know if I'd rather have that stuck in my
No,
head.
no, but this is good. Oh, hey, there's Steve. He's there. He's showing up.
There.
Anyway, Steve, good boy.
Yeah, no.
I sort of want a platypus.
But the question is,
now, too.
guys, no, look how good Steve is. Because you can't, no, he's really good. You can't actually,
It's like
I defy you. Can you see his lips move? Steve is that good. All right, see there he is. I can see that he's still on, right? Okay.
That's awesome.
No, Steve is awesome.
Yeah.
Steve Axtell, ladies and gentlemen. And
Well done,
his
Steve.
friend, I don't know what his platypus name is, but check it out, man. Anyway,
He's
no.
a duck built.
This is.
That's where the duck comes in.
Maybe we should talk to Emily Andras about this.
That's good.
What do you think about that?
I have a little platypus wandering around on the side. I can totally see that too.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to waste any more time, but I am going to press on probing platypus.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no.
Just to see. But look, guys, look at that. They're cute. Who wouldn't want to have that as a pet? I mean, really, honestly.
That's pretty awesome.
Looks like a...
Can you see it waddling around there like a little marmot or something like that?
marmot.
Yeah, it's cute.
I see now why they put beaver in there.
Oh, he's sleek in the water, too. Look at that.
Like an
Ah,
otter.
great. It looks like an otter or some kind of crazy fish
No,
shark.
otters are
Anyway.
Otters are amazing.
Oh, and that's where they are from, Queensland. All right. Have we gone off the rails? We might have gone off the rails. This is kind of what
It
I'm
happens
talking
all
about
the
for,
time for
yeah,
us.
okay, good. Well,
Yeah, so it's kind of
you just
expected, actually.
editing room floor.
No, it all ends up there because that's what people want to see.
All
That's
right. This, they want to see Steve
Yeah,
Axel.
Steve Axel and platypus. And probing platypuses. Yeah.
No,
Still won't knock out. No, I still doesn't knock that sound out of my head.
Doesn't
so
look
that's
like
all.
a.
No, I don't have that one. I'm good.
It's there.
Well, you guys can suffer.
That's good.
I'm actually running
Madonna?
Margaritaville in my head for
Oh.
some reason. It's been there for 3 days. By Jimmy Buffett. Margaritaville.
Because I already
Are you
put
gonna-
it
are
on
you
my
gonna do it?
body.
No, I do not bad Dean Martin, but I don't do a Jimmy Buffett at all. Sorry,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's all right.
but it's a good tune.
Who
I'm just
doesn't
saying.
do Jimmy Buffett? This guy.
Hey, this guy weird.
Yeah, you know, speaking of those kind of old school songs, I was listening to Copacabana.
Nice.
Oh man.
You know, it's sort of one of those songs that everybody loves to sort of, you know, make fun of,
Yeah.
kind of, but love. And,
Oh yeah.
but I hadn't actually ever listened to the words of that song.
It's not a happy song.
Oh my God, is it ever not a happy song? For everybody who's
It
got
just
it, like
sounds
sort of,
like it.
no, yeah, the Copa. Like, hey, this is really great, and then you listen to the words, you're like,
Yeah.
I just want to slit my wrists now.
Yeah, it's a really
it's
bummer
heart wrenching,
song.
man. It is heart wrenching.
Yeah.
All right, Steve Axel.
Did not record Copacabana.
No, I don't think Platypus ever did. At the Copa.
Oh, I hope the platypus song is happier because it does
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a nice catchy jig.
You think?
It's about his mom who goes crazy
Yeah,
because her
that's
lover, the other platypus. Anyway.
Yeah.
So back to still life.
There you
and
go.
talking movies and serious things. I just ran into the producer last night. Apparently, that's
Oh,
coming
nice.
in the fall.
Okay,
of this
great.
Year.
Oh, cool.
And like as I was saying, the first 4 books are set in these
Mhm.
very distinct seasons, so they wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
it came out in the same season as the.
So it's basically
Oh,
like
that's
shoot one
wicked.
year, release it the next.
Yeah, so you know, if it goes again, I guess they would have the chance to see whether or not there was a response to it, and if there
Yeah.
was, then they could shoot because the next
Yeah,
one's
that
called
makes
Dead
sense.
Cold. Shoots a new one. The next one is cool. Now, see, I can do spoilers because there's a book.
That's right. You can read them. Yeah.
Dead Cold's really cool. I really hope we get a chance to shoot that one.
Nice.
Curling Death.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Curling Death.
How Canadian is that?
Beat that. There is
Not even
no
wearing
more
skates.
Canadian thing than a curling
No.
death. This small town, I tell you, the strangest death. But no, and it's really cool, and it had me guessing the entire
Really?
way through. Where
Cool.
because you know what's neat about the first, she self-published for the first one in a way, you know, where the publishers were like, I'm not going to touch this, you know,
Right.
typical kind of thing
We know what
because
that's
it's so different. Do you? Are you?
Yeah. No, we both self-published. Yeah.
You know, and then there's guys like Steve Follis, like they're.
And a
there's
lit agent
whole
has
big-
one of my manuscripts right
Very
now.
excited.
Well, tell us about that. Seriously, that's way more exciting
No.
than me talking about a screenplay that maybe
Curling
doesn't go
Death.
anywhere. Dead Cold.
Come on, Curling Death and Tim Hortons. What
I don't know, but Curling Death is cool. But no, tell me about your screenplay. What's that all about?
Well, no,
no, your novel. Is it a novel?
Well, it's
Yeah.
like I've had a few. The one
Yeah.
that she's got right now is like a fairy tale. It's a twist on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs,
Yeah.
but it's Eben Black, who's a boy,
Yeah.
and instead of 7 dwarves, there's 7 dryads, and they're all females.
So what? Drew?
They're like tree spirits.
Oh, okay, cool.
Jock, Weepy, Cranky, Glitzy, Nerdy, Needy, and Pam.
So if I were to be cast as one of those, who would I be?
Well, you need breasts.
They're all
Sure.
girls, so you
Ah,
have
the
to
tree
be
spirits.
needy.
I can do it. I can do it. No, anyway, that's me to my agent. No, 27-year-old girl, I'm there. I can do it.
Throw you in as Jock. She's a
So
little dykey.
did you self-publish online, sort of releasing chapter at a time kind of thing? And
No, I self-published through CreateSpace. It's Amazon's
Okay.
publishing company. Although now they have like a bunch of imprints as well, so they're they're taking on publishing on their own as well. So.
How did it? What's it called?
Ebon Black and the Seven Triads.
Has anyone ever talked about this in one of these meetings here?
Not in one of these shows.
Well, come on, guys. You guys. I think you guys, from what I hear, there's like tens of thousands of people who listen to this show every week.
It's disgusting.
It's because
it's not disgusting, actually. It's
not about
that's
like
right.
writing.
They're trying to watch people like you.
But what I was going to say, what was cool about Louise Penny and what's cool about the Best Laid Plans is, these are guys where, the folks in the publishing industry didn't see a future for these guys. And they said, okay, fine, well, I wrote a story, I'm gonna put it online, release it myself, and do whatever, and all of a sudden, wham, turns out, guess what? People like it.
Yeah.
And,
surprise! That's right.
That's right. That wasn't exactly the way it happened for Louise Penny, but it's the same sort of thing where it was difficult for her to get a publisher,
Very cool.
then
so
someone...
did they then start over at the beginning and start publishing right from the start?
Well, what happened was she won an award for Best New... I'm not sure what it was. It's in Britain, Best New Unpublished, or maybe it could have been published. I'm not sure whether the unpublished was a part of that, but she won an award. Cool. Someone read it and was like, wow, this is really novel approach to this genre. And from there, that's when the publishers took interest. And I apologize, Louise, if I'm not citing the history exactly, but it's something around that. You can go on. More exactly.
Has she ever written about a platypus?
Yes, that's right. That'll be book 10.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of platypuses.
That's what it should be now.
It's gonna be carrying that around for the rest of the night.
I know. Hang on 1 second here.
I'm gonna text
David. We keep looking over there.
Yeah.
But nobody. Now, if I did this.
Oh, she's got a camera.
She got a webcam.
All right. Check it out. Now, does she ever get on?
Oh yeah.
Oh well, that's great.
Yeah, sometimes we sort of force her.
It fucks me up and can I say that?
So what's really great is that we've gotten about 3 laughs out of her. So if you could just edit those laughs after every one of my jokes.
Yeah.
You guys have a signal. It's like oh.
That's right.
Just a little Wile E. Coyote sign.
One of those things
red light. That is awesome.
It's a generation, yes.
Until we upgrade to one of those tables where you just push the button and the canned laughter comes through and stuff. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We can try that. I'm an actor. Go.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Press the button.
No, is that? Anyway, she's not laughing.
She's focusing. That's what it is.
That's right. That's right.
That's
I'm
awesome.
entering Louise's name into my.
Yeah, I would totally want to track down.
I actually do know a guy who. One of his jobs is he is a laughter therapist, and he came here to Montreal, and here I say we're in Toronto. Anyway, so came to Montreal where I live, and was interviewed by CTV Morning or something like this,
right?
Because he was going to the Canadian laugh-offs. It exists. Look it up, and it's people who have they literally have a laugh competition. They'd be like, maniacal laugh, and they're like, exactly, but really good. And so
that's cool, man. That is cool. But really good.
But
exactly like that, but
wow. Exactly like that.
Okay, let me hear your best one. Come on. It's too late, man. I ruined it. But I meant by that is they're laughter pros.
That's insane.
And so he came to represent BC because there was a laugh-off or something, I presume, in BC, and
I
he
hope
won.
he did a sash.
Yeah,
Wow.
and just all over Canada came, and they had this. It was here. It was in Montreal. It was last year or something like that. And then he was interviewed on the morning show. And he did this awesome laugh. This awesome cackling laugh on the morning show because they're doing all these different types of laughs, right? And he falls right off his chair. It is awesome. He's and he's on the ground. And it is the most absurd and amazing 30-second interview that you will have seen. These 2 guys in there in ties and whatever, and it's serious. And he's actually a laughter therapist, and corporations and things will hire him.
I want to be in the audience for a laugh off. That'd be amazing.
It's cool. Okay.
Just laugh all the time.
No, I'm not going to go on, but it's there, and it's really neat, and it's
That's
it's neat. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I was is this Monty Python's? I'm here for an argument. And
yeah, that's right. It's never like that. Exactly.
I'm here to laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that sketch. I haven't seen that sketch in forever.
No.
But anyway, yes,
Time for money by that night.
Yeah, good plan.
Yeah.
Anthony, so awesome to finally get you in our studio. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
That was so cool.
Thank you very
If
much.
you haven't seen it at the film fest, watch for it. Rouge Songe or Storm Within. Watch for it. So worth your time. Fantastic film. And of course, go back to season 2 of Lost Girl. Rewatch that.
Not necessarily a feel-good movie, but it's very, very good.
Yeah. But yeah, super.
Not a date flick, I might say.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
I mean, you can take a date.
You could.
Not a first date.
No.
Especially not if you have a vaguely British accent. Which is maybe what I have in that.
Yeah.
That could be that. Thank you.
Yeah. And soon. It's
Tim?
another episode. Again. We're just rocking this place.
We are.
Rock. But yes. Didn't work.
Oh! Try it again.
There it is.
I wanna rock!
And that is another episode of the Mind Reels on Smithy.tv. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
and
guys.
good night.
Thank you.
Oh my god, that was brilliant. That was so much fun.